ladies and gentlemen, or as I guess Schubert, well, no, Schubert does say, hey, ladies and gentlemen, whatever. Bingers assemble. Welcome to another episode of Bros Who Binge. While Schubert is in England, it is myself, Lyndon Burton, joined by Reggie Rito, co-host for the next 2 weeks. How you doing, Reginald?
Doing well, man. Just finished seeing Bad Boys the other day.
Yes, we
It's been,
did.
but it's been a good week so far, though.
Yep, we got a lot to discuss now. For those watching or those used to the show format, y'all know we do news, movie on the rise, and then discussion, which can be review or a topic or whatever. While Schubert is away, we will not be covering any news unless it's major news like Batman Brave and the Bold casting or new Star Wars movie or new Marvel. We're not covering the minutia of the news. We will be reviewing things so we can stay up to date when Schubert gets back, as well as doing discussions for that Reg and myself found interesting. For this episode, we will be reviewing episode 3 of Acolyte. We will be reviewing the Richard Linklater and what's my guy's name? I'm blanking on his name. Whatever, Hitman.
Yeah, Hitman.
I forgot the actor's name, but I'm
Glenn Powell.
Yeah, so we'll be doing the Richard Linklater Glenn Powell movie because they created it together, Hitman, and then we'll be reviewing Bad Boys Ride or Die. Even though I think this movie should have been Bad Boys for Life, and the third one should have been called Ride or Die, because if you did movie four for life, idiots. Yeah. I don't know why the fuck they did that, but whatever. And then the main topic will be us drafting 8, doing a Will Smith draft and discussing Will Smith. So we'll be doing that towards the end. But let's start off with Acolyte. This upset me because, ladies and gentlemen, a lot of people, the Star Wars community is mixed on this. And I feel like the people that don't like it, and what I'm about to say, not the people that don't like it because of the acting, but the people that are complaining about, oh, they made Anakin not count, or, oh, I don't like these lesbian witches, or, oh, I don't like the creator. I feel like all of that is homophobic, racist rhetoric coming from the Star Wars fans. 100%, because Acolyte is not bad. They've always had space witches. For y'all to be like, oh, it devalues Anakin. No, motherfuckers, it makes sense why Anakin was born. I understand Anakin's the chosen one, and you're like, oh, his birth denotes the fact that he's the chosen one. No. His birth does not denote the fact that he's chosen one. The fact that it's Anakin denotes that he's the chosen one. Everybody was on the notion of, oh, because he was born from the Force, he's the chosen one. No. It's the fact that he was born is the chosen one. It doesn't matter how he was born. I know you want to do the Jesus Christ thing, but to me, this shows that there can be kids born through the Force. And I think that makes Anakin even more special. The fact that there were kids birthed the way that he was, but he was the one that was chosen. I don't think it negates him. I really don't.
You see, I understand both sides of that argument in the sense that if there are more people who are immaculate conception or products of the being born via the Force.
But see, it's not an immaculate, it's a Force baby.
No. But you see, it plays on the immaculate conception because the Force is technically like the Holy Spirit in this religious world that we live in. And so since Anakin is this chosen person, if other people are born like that, people will see it as a devaluation of Anakin being the chosen.
But that's based on no matter of the journey. That's based on their personal views by connecting religion to this. This is a different galaxy. You can't connect a religion that we share to them, bro. That's like,
I agree. I agree on that point.
Because also, let me blow your fucking mind. They also said Luke was the chosen one. That was Lucas's point, that we don't know who the chosen one was. So this makes even more fucking sense.
Look, again, like I said, I agree arguments both ways. Like, I completely understand it from your perspective, and I understand it from the other people's perspective.
You understand it from the fact that it devalues Anakin, because some of these people are saying this because of the homophobic rhetoric. I don't agree with the
anti-queer, semi-racist
take. No, fuck that.
But I understand their point of the whole him being the only person born this way.
Devalued, sure. Yeah, I think they're using that argument to hide their homophobic takes. 100%.
Yeah, 1,000.
Because they don't like the fact that the creator is from the LGBTQ community,
Q+ community,
and she's showing a lot of LGBTQ+
And
people
the fact that this entire story arc has been predominantly by women, and the only
and
person
people of
who
color.
commits suicide was a white guy
What,
who was in the
bro? Like,
story.
how many white Jedis have they been throughout time? Like, so
Yeah, yeah,
what that we have different
yeah,
race people? And honestly, it's not this planet's
yeah,
races. Like, you don't know
yeah,
what the
yeah,
fuck they
yeah, yeah, yeah.
are.
Yeah, you
You
can't
fucking
project it because
morons.
technically, like all these people are aliens. Technically,
Yes,
like
none of them are humans. They're
yeah, yeah,
humanoid.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. If we're
they
being
are
serious,
not black men from America. Like, shut the fuck up. You're
none of
projecting
these
your
people are
racism.
born on Earth. Yeah, like none of these
Yes,
people are born on Earth. Yeah,
exactly. So the only complaints I think in episode 3 that are valid is the shoddy acting.
I'll agree.
Some of the
Yeah,
dialogue
it's
was
very
shoddy.
choppy, very
Yeah.
choppy. Very you. Whenever you watch movies, especially of like the ilk of a Star Wars that has had years to marinate and had a series of writers make great, dialogue. This really seems like this was someone's like first time writing a script, and
It
everyone
felt
is like
very
trying to read
prequel.
the line.
It felt very prequel George Lucas because George Lucas's dialogue in the prequels was terrible.
You see, I don't mind the prequel dialogue, but this is like you can see it glaringly, like
No,
how
it wasn't as good as the first 2
it
episodes.
wasn't fluid. I can agree.
Yeah,
It
it
just
was not
wasn't
as good
fluid.
as the first 2 episodes.
These
I,
conversations seemed forced.
I will say the story wise, though, progressed the story. We now understand why these kids are force sensitive, where they come from, which I think is very important
Yeah.
about the background of how they're more so like Darth Maul. Darth Maul was born from this cult of witches. Like
Yeah.
he wasn't a force baby, but he was
An
from this
experiment.
cult of witches that were experimented in the dark side.
Yeah.
These girls are from a cult of witches. I won't say from the dark side, but they experimented in the
Well,
force
it's
that was
just the thread.
different
Yeah.
than the Jedi's.
Just products of the thread.
Also, for people upset that they called the force the thread, that's
That
not
that
an
that's
issue.
that's that's
That
such a
is just
nitpicky issue.
that is just their way of how those people's
It's
way
just their way of
of
calling it the force.
understanding the force. Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Different religions,
Simply
different
because
like
it wasn't canonically
mhm.
understood by these people. First of all, people should realize that like this
Yahweh
world
is the
that this
same as Allah
yeah,
and
yeah,
God is the same. Like,
yeah.
it's just their way of
It's just
saying
their
the
way of
force.
saying the force. Yeah. So people need to understand that like these people do not exist in the exact same world that Luke and Anakin have been roaming in. You have to understand that they experience the force vastly different
And you
than
gotta
this group of
understand
people.
that these are the people that lead up to that
Yeah.
build the foundations to what we know. So
Yeah.
yes, at the time where the Jedi's aren't as widespread, these people would call it threads because they don't know what else the fuck else to call it.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't know to call it the Force. You
Yeah.
know that because you've been in the galaxy that has established this shit as the
Yeah.
Force. But
Yeah.
they are in a galaxy where this is pretty new to them.
Yeah, and I mean that comes from us as a fan base falling victim to the
Exactly.
asynchronous style of how Star Wars was made,
I
and the
will
fact that you got to
say
dive into the story and work backwards.
I will say I like the touch of the witches, like I said, because it adds a layer to Osha and Mai's
Real being a
character.
Jesuit vibes.
Osha definitely wanted to leave the cult. She saw it as I don't want to be stuck here. May saw it as I need to be there for my family. Thus butting heads between the two. Osha didn't want to take the ritual of the witches. May did, and May felt because they're twins, they should stick together. Thus the Jedi eavesdropping, and there's like, we're gonna save these 2 kids. They have to come with us because I'm guessing any force sensitive kids had to go with the Jedi, which is weird to me. Like, why do they have to go if they don't want to go? But Osha wanted to go. Yeah.
Yeah, but also that plays into the notion that
not all the Jedi are good right now.
Yeah, we can't trust the Jedi. Like I know that we've been built up in the world of Star Wars that the Jedi is this wholly good organization and that the Sith is all bad. When people realize at its core, technically they're just different ways of interpreting the Force.
Like maybe the modern day Jedi are good, but we had to build to that point.
Yeah, but you had to build to that point. Again, this is all very much ahead of the story that we've been grown into.
Yeah, facts. And I like the idea of we seeing it all from Osha's perspective because all we see is from Osha. Mai starts a fire. She runs out, sees all of her people that she knows dead.
She assumes that Maya kills all of them.
And she assumes that, and then the Jedi save her. And then when they're on the plane, Soul, she asks Soul, did Mai so basically Soul says Mai started the fire. And then Osha says, did Mai kill everyone?
May.
Soul, May asked, Osha asked, did May kill everyone? And Soul does
answer.
not respond.
Doesn't answer.
He looks very solemn. And you have to remember the one Jedi that killed himself. I do believe that these Jedis killed everyone on that planet, and May saw, thus having to trigger the bomb to save her and Osha. She felt she was saving them from the Jedi because the Jedi took her family away from her, which is going to be very interesting to see how Soul answers for this, how Osha takes this. Does Osha then turn to May and work with that acolyte dark side? Question, is the acolyte dark side member that we saw in the second episode, is that someone that survived the Jedi killing? I feel like that would be too on the nose, me personally.
I think they do survive.
See, I don't want any of. I want it to be someone new that we don't know that is birthing this.
The only reason why I say it survives is because
stoking this flames of hatred. Yeah,
that's the only reason why I feel like they're not gonna go that deep, and they're gonna be like.
See, I think they will, because I think Dave Filoni, who's overseeing this, cares about that type of shit, about the Star Wars canon. This should be someone who birthed the Sith stuff for Palpatine to come. Like, this guy or girl, whoever is the person under the mask, is the reason why we get Palpatine years down the line. So I want to know it's not just one of these witches. These witches are a byproduct of the bad system that the Jedi created, and this guy is taking advantage of that heartache and that problem. And then Mai's gonna have to make a challenge choice of realizing, oh, this guy is evil. These people may have done evil stuff, but they have good intentions. But this guy's using the stokes of the flames to be evil. Honestly, it would even be better if the guy that was evil, or the girl, whoever's in charge of the situation, caused the witches to go down the route they went so that the Jedi could do this. That would make him even more of a manipulator.
Yeah, I mean, that would just be like equating like a precursor to Palpatine by creating another Palpatine. Like, I get it. But I
it's a cycle. Star Wars is a cycle.
It is a cycle.
I would fuck with that, because that shows Palpatine how he did it. Thus, Palpatine could do it his way. Yeah, Palpatine needs a blueprint.
I get it 1,000%. I understand it. I just don't think that they're gonna go that
deep. Well, we shall see. I do think this was the weakest episode of the three. Not a lot of lightsaber action. This was just necessary background information.
See, and I actually like this episode because, like, I'm not the biggest, like, I don't need lightsaber duels all the time. Like again, it's cool. Like, but I like these episodes that a lot of people just call filler or just like informational episodes, because they give the subconscious subtle notes that set up everything for the rest of like a series.
For sure.
Like people might not notice it, but like obviously May and Osha represent the Jedi and the Sith, and the fact that they're diametrically opposed, yet they're twins, so technically almost the same person. And
this
it's going to ebb and flow.
It wasn't bad. I enjoyed the background.
I think that it just is so overhated that I have to try to give it a lot more support.
My favorite is the second one, where we see a lot of detective work happening, because we've never seen Jedi detectiveness. Big noir, Jedi action. It was perfect. But this episode was solid. We will discuss episode 4 going forward. But we have the backstory now. We understand, and we have theories that the Jedi caused the problem on this planet.
Oh yeah, that is my theory.
I believe that's glaring. So we shall see when that comes true.
Like I always said, the Jedi are not canonically good people. Like especially in the early days, where like
some of them are, but some of them not necessarily are.
But like again, they're kind of like the Bene Gesserit, where like they want to force their agenda. And they have to get rid of these witches because they're heretics. Not all Catholic priests
are great.
Again, and especially since these witches also represent like heresy, and they're very heretical. And so like I can understand, because if you look at it, like
the Jedi didn't want that heresy to spread.
Exactly. And if you go over episode 3 again, May starts the fire, but it's in a closed room. And then you walk to another big area and everyone's
dead. Like,
but not burnt.
There's no way.
But not burnt.
Yeah, like, not
remember,
burnt.
They're not burnt.
Exactly.
But obviously, Osha, she's very young, so she's going to assume that they're just a product of the explosion or things like that.
Or May poisoned them. May did something. That's what
or May had done something. But if you look at it, none of these people are burnt.
All of them are dead in one room. All the adults are just laid out. It looks like the Jedi each took a room and slaughtered them.
Exactly. It looks like
when Anakin killed the younglings.
Exactly.
Yeah, facts. It definitely looks like that. All right, hell yeah. That was episode 3. We will be back next week to discuss episode 4. So enough Star Wars talk. the surprise of the week. Well, I don't know if I can call it a surprise because Bad Boys 3 was good, but I guess people didn't expect this to be good. The
Yeah.
surprise of the week, Richard Linklater and Glenn Powell's The Hitman. And now look, I didn't think it was going to be a full rom-com, which, you know, I'm not necessarily mad at that, but, you know, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was very entertaining.
I don't think it was a rom-com at all. I like, granted, there's romantic aspects to it
It was
because it
definitely
is
a rom
because it
com.
is nah, see, no,
they
you see, you're taking
it said it is like that's
nah,
the
listen.
Netflix says it's a rom com.
No, it's not a rom-com. It's not a rom-com in my opinion. It's not a rom-com at all.
Why not? Well, why do you not think it's a rom com?
Because that
There's romantic
essentially,
elements. The people get together at
yeah,
the end, and it's
yeah,
a
no, yeah,
comedy.
but bro, like if we want to call it a rom-com, okay, you're calling 20% of the movie a rom-com.
I would
Like,
say more than 20%.
brother, half of that is him being these serial killers, and
These
then
hitmen.
we also see the undercover plot of the guy that he replaces. Like,
Yeah, trying to get
sure,
back at him.
yeah, cool.
But the
There's two
whole
sex scenes,
but
and
the
then
whole
like
purpose of it though was started. This whole started because of his relationship with
because
that
she
woman.
wanted to kill her husband.
Yes,
Like,
and
bro,
they and how they had to figure their shit out and like tell each other the truth to come together to find love.
blood. That's not a romantic comedy. I'm sorry.
Look, I'm just telling you,
But
Wikipedia and Netflix
sure.
all
Okay,
call
cool.
it. Wikipedia calls it a romantic black comedy because it is dark. I will
Oh,
say
it's very dark.
very, very dark. That woman is kind of crazy on the low. Like
Oh
the
yeah,
fact
no,
that she
but
was cool with just banging this hitman and she was down
also,
to marry Ron.
can we also like pause and go back to like, this did not depict New Orleans like at all,
Oh
although it's set in New
no, it was
Orleans.
it felt more
This
like San Francisco.
this was the grossest depiction of New Orleans I've seen in a minute. And like,
the
I've seen
most
some bad.
the most real New Orleans thing was the fact that Rob 49 was about to
That
get a
Rob
hit out
49
on
was
him.
about to get a hit out on him. That was the most
That was
Louisiana
hard.
thing.
That was hard. I
No,
can't
I will
lie.
agree.
That
I
was
will agree.
fire.
Glenn Powell about to kill Rob 49 is crazy.
That moment when they said Rob 49, I was like, I'm in. I'm sold. I'm sold. You
It
sold
was
me.
great. It was
Yeah.
great. It was
That
great.
was, but the scenes didn't. The city when they showed the city didn't seem New Orleansy.
No,
Like they
even
would.
the trolley car looked like it was like the San Francisco
Oh
trolley car.
yeah, it
Didn't
did. It did. It
like,
did.
except the fact that it doesn't go uphill. Like, that's a San Francisco trolley car.
It definitely did. And then the thing is, fucking.
Another,
I
are we
thought.
sure?
Oh,
None of
go
these
ahead.
people are ordering hits out on there.
Oh.
Like, I'm sorry. Like, I've never seen this many people need a hitman for like ex-lovers. Like, that's crazy that this man is just filling these hits.
I just think it's crazy that Ray and Gary or Ray attempts to kill Madison by calling Gary. I think that shit
Yeah.
is hilarious.
Yeah, that's
And
funny.
then the fact that Jasper tries to get involved with everything.
Yeah.
How did you feel about Jasper's plot or his storyline?
It was okay, but like, I was still all invested on Glenn. Like, yeah.
Well, I just think it was good to see, you know, Gary and Madison work it out. But the crazy thing is that I wouldn't, if I'm their kids and I asked how my parents got together, I think they're the weirdest motherfuckers ever, bro. Because how did Madison accept the fact that Gary, well, I guess Gary can explain that
Well,
he worked
again,
for the police.
Gary was never a hitman. Remember that. He
Yeah,
never killed anyone.
but she fell in love with the idea of who Ron was, and
Yeah.
then if
She
I'm
fell in love with
Gary,
Ron, not Gary.
if I'm Gary, I'm like, bro, you fell in love with this hitman persona I created. You crazy? I'm not getting with
Yeah,
you.
but also, like, if we look at Gary's beginnings, he's just a cat dude who's a professor. Like,
No,
I'm
Ron
sure this is
changed
probably
his life.
yeah, Ron changed his life. He's punching way above his weight. If like this is
and
old Gary.
honestly, Gary probably became a better person due to being Ron.
Yeah, because Gary got to realize that, like, you know how some people have to like live vicariously through a character that they create. That's essentially what Gary was going through this entire time.
And he realized that he was that guy this whole time.
Bro, all he had to do was take off his glasses, and then he's Glenn Powell. Like,
all right, all right, let's give out some awards for this movie in the way that we do.
We'll do a rating.
Yeah, give us your rating out of 10.
Out of 10? Look, for just like a Netflix or just watch midday, it was like a 9.
I'm giving it a solid 8.3. Like,
okay, I'll drop mine at 8.5.
I'm not giving it to 9, but it was like you said, during the day, good Netflix movie.
Yeah, if you just got, like,
laughed and I enjoyed it.
It was
very
funny.
much so. All right, let's do best scene. What you got?
Best scene is oh, okay. So when fuck. It's whenever he pretends to be this like old British guy, and the
Oh.
white guy is talking with like the most Creole Southern, like deep South Louisiana accent, the most forced accent I've ever heard. And I'm like, this man is falling for this. They can obviously tell this is what British hitman be in New Orleans, Louisiana. Like, I don't know what they're thinking, but it was hilarious.
My best scene is when he first meets Madison and they're sitting down at that bar right
Mhm.
before they have their first sex scene they're talking and you can see the instant chemistry between Glenn Powell and this actress it's just at that moment it was like, wow, Glenn's a movie star and he knows it.
I will say this. Glenn Powell is getting out of, he's trying to break from that character actor. I'm going to be a
He's done it.
pilot.
He's a main guy.
And
like,
honestly, he may have to start coming into our consideration when we talk about our young 20 to 15 actors.
But see, he's different though. He is not. Glenn Powell is not necessarily.
He's not
going to be an Oscar actor.
He's not on. No, he's not on our tour. He's not on our tour. But he would be the Tom Cruise.
Yeah,
he'd be the Tom Cruise of that. Of
he's
this
the
generation.
white Michael B. Jordan.
Michael B. Jordan could win an Oscar.
Could, but Michael B. Jordan's more so a blockbuster actor. Michael.
No, but you see, like again, Michael B. Jordan
Glenn could win an Oscar. Glenn could.
Glenn is in no Oscar winners right now.
But they both do act. Like Glenn and Michael, I see as blockbuster actors. The auteurs are Austin Butler,
well, again, yes,
John
the
David
guys with
Jonathan Majors, Timothy Chalamet. Those are the auteurs. These guys are the next Tom Cruise and Will Smith. Like, they fall.
But then again, Will Smith won an Oscar.
He did, and that's what, to your point, Michael B. Jordan can win an Oscar. Tom Cruise was nominated. Glenn Powell can get nominated. Like, I would love to see Glenn Powell.
But as long as he does Anyone But You and Hitman, he will not get that shot.
He needs to work with like Nolan again, but be a lead because he was in The Dark Knight Rises, but he needs to be a lead. Like, that's where he needs to go to. All right. Give best actor of the movie. I'm going Glenn Powell, of course.
Yeah, I gotta go Glenn Powell because Glenn Powell legitimately showed range this time. He was no longer just face acting.
He played
even though Ron is Glenn Powell,
but he played multiple personas. He played multiple
personas. Yeah.
Who do you think won the movie?
The winner of the movie, you could say again, Gary and Glenn Powell, because he ended up getting the life he always dreamed of. Like, remember, this dude was a broke professor living with two cats.
Madison won too because she got away from that evil ass nigga.
She got away from a very abusive relationship. I will give Madison.
Yeah,
I will say that.
Loser Jasper. Dude lost his
1000%.
He lost his whole life.
He lost everything.
Like, just because because he beat that teenager, he had a racist police encounter. So maybe he did deserve it. I was about to say he lost it because of some incident, but then I remember
no. He lost and I applauded.
Yeah, he had to go. So later, Jasper, racist ass. All right, sixth man of the movie. Who do you have? Let's go through
Jesus Christ, do we have starters?
I would say
we have 5.
I would say we could just pick anybody that's not Glenn Powell or the girl.
Oh, well, then it'd be.
For me, it's the lady from Parks and Rec. I thought she killed
yeah, no, I do. Yeah, she's hilarious. I mean, obviously the obvious 6 man, if we go off that criteria, would be Jasper, but I'm gonna go with the police commissioner who was like, "Nigga, get your ass out of here, dog."
Oh, that black guy.
Whenever they had to drop, Jasper, Sergeant Hank,
Brian Banks. Yeah, no, I'm going with Retta, the police officer from Parks and Rec. You're going with the police captain, Sergeant Hank. All right, solid movie though. I think Hitman was great. And definitely worth people checking out. You'll definitely enjoy it. All right, let's get to Bad Boys for Life. Let's talk about it. Bad Boys Ride or Die, excuse me. This movie, the Bad Boys franchise, entered the Fast and the Furious domain in the sense that this movie was realistic about cops at first.
But fantastical.
But now, this is fantastical as shit. They got Marlon and Will Smith dodging rocket launcher missiles.
None of them are dodging. There are planes coming through. You're getting cut up by a propeller. He survives a gigantic gator attack. Like
the Martin fat ass saved Will Smith from an oncoming bus going 90 miles an hour. They survived the fucking helicopter crash.
This was some Dom Toretto Fast and Furious bullshit.
But I think they did it better. I keep saying that. I enjoyed this version of Fast and the Furious more than the actual Fast and the Furious.
Is that because you enjoyed the humor because it's more connected to us?
Because this is a very black movie, ladies and gentlemen.
This is definitely a black movie.
I think white people will enjoy it
Oh no, I like it,
100%.
but there are certain
But
references that you just won't get.
definitely some jokes are very black.
Yeah.
Very, very black.
Also, the style and delivery. I don't like to say that like black people are monolithic in their sense of humor, but like the timing and the way in which jokes are conveyed, black people would laugh at. Like whenever Reggie
Mm-hmm.
kills 50 people and then just salutes the camera and looks back at you, like everyone just gets up and claps and like laughs. That's some black people humor
Mm-hmm.
right there.
But I liked all the callbacks. I will say Martin played the race card a couple times too much. Like the first time he did it, it was funny. The second
Yeah.
time it was like, all right. The
Again,
third time it was like, all right, brother. I know y'all making a black movie, but chill out, bro.
yeah, no, Martin Lawrence, again, he's one of those guys that like forgets that he's like a comedian sometimes when he writes this, and not every joke is gonna just fly.
And land.
Yeah,
But
and
I will
land.
say more of his jokes landed than not. It showed classic Martin. And this
Oh, yeah.
movie showed Will. I think this movie showed the most character growth for Will as this character. Because
Yeah.
this guy was the hotshot gun-toting
Yeah.
superhero, like badass cop. And then I think they handled mental health well. I think it could have been handled better because Martin did make some jokes like, nigga, it's not the time to have a panic attack. No, bro, we should be trying to get this guy therapy.
Yeah, but again, that's black humor. Like,
yeah, but that shows how we need to grow as a culture.
It does show that we need to grow as a culture.
But it definitely showed that mental health matters. I will give them that.
I will also say it became cheesy later on in the movie, but like Martin needed to stop referencing that he died. Like, I'm sorry, like
the whole trope,
the
trope of him being
I'm chosen. I'm this higher spirit. Like, bro, stop.
The captain is reaching me from the dead and telling me to save everybody.
It was great the first 20 to 30 minutes.
Also,
after that, bro, like, come on.
You thought his drink got spiked. It didn't. He just had a heart attack because he was fat.
Yeah. I mean, the thing was this. The reason why I thought it was because they don't show the face of the person that hands it to him. Like it looked very like like some Knives Out type shit where like you don't see the killer. And then like,
he was gonna show back up. But I will say, for this being a movie of them having to prove their innocence, this was because every other movie they've been in, they were the heroes. They never had to go on the run. This movie is them going on the run, getting Will's son to prove Captain Holt's innocence, or the captain's innocence who passed away, because these people were framing him as dirty and then starting to frame Will and Martin as dirty. So they had to use Will's son from movie 3, his cartel connection.
Shout out Armando.
Shout out Armando, to prove that this lawyer that's running for mayor was working with this former military guy who got kidnapped by the cartel to allow drugs to come in to the country. And I think they did a good job with it.
Could we also say the whole DA running for mayor is such a Batman trope? like they stole that completely from any Batman comic where the DA is running for mayor and there's this underworld that's working with the DA. Like, that's essentially the Batman.
Look, we said it when we were walking out. Governors don't have enough power to make someone run for governor. So it's like
mayors have a lot of
It's
control.
either mayor or senator. Like, I've seen we've had senator tropes like this for sure.
I think you told me this in the movie, but like the rationale about working with the cartels to get rid of terrorists, I think that was an on the nose joke where I'm like,
I think that's real. They
might have been right.
I definitely think that happened. I definitely think that part happened. But great movie. It was very much fun, action packed. I definitely think it's a true blockbuster.
True blockbuster, yeah.
Definitely something. It beat Oppenheimer's record for first weekend. Yeah. We'll see if it beats total sales.
Yeah.
But this is one of those word of mouth films. This is not something you should wait for streaming, because Reg was like, do we have to go see this? But it was better in theaters. It really was.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree.
So I definitely think, what would you rate this movie out of 10? I'm rating it higher than
well, I mean, you go first this time.
Hitman, I gave 8.3. This, I'm going 8.8. 8.8, solid.
Well, you see, I went 8.5 on Hitman. I'll go, honestly, I might go with you 8.8.
It's a solid 8.8. It's a solid movie. 8.
If they just got rid of some of the corniness and some of the fantastical Fast and Furious style shit, it'd have been a 9.
Easily. I agree.
I do think they should have went more into the like detective part of it instead of the
Yeah,
whole let's suit up
let's
and
fight. Like, yeah,
yeah,
it was
but
the
look,
Batman idea
it made
where,
great action sequences. Don't get me wrong,
for
great
sure,
action sequences.
it was the Batman idea where do you do Batman as a detective or do you do
Yeah,
Batman as this super spy kung fu? And they
superhero.
chose the superhero route. They did.
Yeah,
All right, what would you say your best scene? Mine is where they were doing the first person shooter gimmick, baby, where they had,
yeah,
where they were showing it from Will's perspective in the scene. Will was on some John Wick shit in that, man,
yeah,
where
yeah.
where he was killing all of McGrath's guys.
I'm gonna say my favorite scene, and this is always gonna be a little biased.
Oh, the
Reggie
Reggie
in the
scene,
house
yeah, that
protecting
was
his
great.
family, bro.
That was great
Imagine this dude has been shit on the past couple movies, always looked down on.
the whole
Dude comes
time.
in, drops a 30 piece, kills 30 people, and then just walks up and goes back to the camera,
Salutes him and then leaves. Yeah,
salutes, and
no,
then dips.
great moment. So that's his best scene, my best scene. All right, best actor of the movie. I'm going with Will Smith. I think Will Smith did a great job.
Best actor.
I'm going with Will. The panic scenes, him talking to his
Yeah, him
kid,
conveying
connecting emotionally. I thought there was a
honestly,
lot of good stuff in this from Will.
I'd say the best acting personally, because I'm not gonna be the same as you. I'm gonna say Armando because
Oh, okay.
Armando, although it's pretty easy to play like a cartel leader, especially like if you're
He showed
stereotypical in the American,
some range.
he showed range in the sense that he actually wanted to engage with his dad. He wasn't just this whole
Mm-hmm.
fuck you the whole time.
Mm-hmm. No,
And
I
also,
agree.
whenever they had to follow his lead, he became like the leader of that group while they were on the run and was like, y'all can't just be acting like cops when we're out.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, that badge doesn't mean anything in the
When you're on
streets.
the
Like that
run.
doesn't
Yeah,
mean,
no.
yeah.
Facts. Good choice. So you go Armando or his actor. I go Will
Yes.
Smith. All right, who you got winning the movie? I think for me, the winner is Martin Lawrence. Dude didn't die.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't
Found
die.
out his daughter's in good health with Reggie. His son-in-law saved the entire family, and his partner got to have some closure. Martin Lawrence won.
Martin Lawrence is definitely the winner, but I'm gonna go with Armando because
Oh yeah!
you were locked up in the
Wow.
pen, you get
Mm-mm.
freed, you help your dad, you
You
don't
got
get killed,
closure.
you don't get killed by Cap's daughter because
Mm-hmm.
her daughter saves you, and then you get sent to
Mm-hmm.
Cuba, you get to live your life out.
Yeah, he got to live free in Cuba. So Armando definitely won. That's a good choice. All right, loser of the movie, definitely the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in the original Fantastic Four. Dude lost his girlfriend, fiance. His girlfriend, fiance killed him. And then, yeah, he lost everything. And he became disgraced as the mayor.
You know, again, he did lose it all, but you know who lost a lot too?
Ooh.
John Saley in the movie. All
Oh,
dude did became
yeah,
an
wow.
artist and then got
Wow.
laid down for holding that secret for years about what
Mm-hmm.
was going on, never told Will and them, and then just got dropped.
Yeah, my person is Ian Grunfeld named Lockwood, but yeah, John Sally's Fletcher came into the movie to help because of Cap. Martin Lawrence and Will blowing up his spot. The
They
nigga
start
was telling him,
screaming
whispering,
inside the
they
art
screaming.
gallery.
Martin Lawrence pulls out a gun, and then McGrath and all these people who are spying sees them, just
Just
stones
gets
John
capped.
Shally.
Just get capped.
He didn't have to die. That was fucked up.
That
Yeah,
was so
yeah, he
unnecessary.
lost. That's a good choice. That's a
And
damn good choice.
that brings up a lot of Are We Shores in this movie. Just like
Oh
there.
no! Look, this movie. Look, ladies and gentlemen, we're not gonna go through all the Are We Sure's, but this movie definitely should have been over 30 minutes into the movie, though, because there's a plot hole. They figure out all the information, and instead of giving it up the chain of command, they say no, we're not, and people are gonna say, well, Lennon, you don't know which
People up the
person is
chain could have been
dirty,
corrupt.
could have
Yeah.
been corrupt, but Martin Lawrence and Will
Could have
know
given it to Cap's
that
daughter.
their captain isn't corrupt. But if you don't trust your captain, even though you're telling her everything the entire movie, the captain you trust, his daughter who works for the marshals, you know isn't corrupt. You
Yeah.
give it to her and the movie's over with.
Yeah,
So,
like
yeah, beyond all the could this nigga dodge a rocket? Would the alligator have
yeah,
eaten him? All that
yeah,
other shit.
yeah.
Yes, this movie is
The
chock
major
full of
plot.
loopholes.
Yeah, yeah, it has some big plot holes.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably the biggest one that this whole movie could have been 30 minutes, like if they really wanted to play it out.
It was an episode of TV.
Yeah, yeah. But my biggest Are We Sure in this movie is definitely how are they surviving some of these incidents? Again, like
That's a
these are
fact.
remember, these are normal civilian cops.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You're
They're
not
not
dodging.
superheroes. They're not super
You're not dodging
soldiers.
a rocket launcher. You're
Hell
not
no.
saving a dude from a 90-mile-an-hour car and it's 2 inches
Nope.
from his face
You're
and
not
you don't
killing a
die.
giant crocodile with
Yeah,
a
also,
pole.
yeah, you're not stabbing a giant. Also, you don't survive that death roll that he's gonna get
Oh,
you in after he grabs your home.
falling out the
Yeah,
plane or the
yeah,
helicopter.
yeah.
Yeah, no, they were dead because they weren't buckled in either. That's another
No, they,
thing.
they literally just were held on by the power of friendship, like legitimately.
Yeah, big are we sure. But good movie.
Great
Nonetheless,
movie.
it's very that shows how fun and enjoyable it is. So we did
Yeah.
best actor, we did winner, we did loser. All right, let's go through the 6-man. I would say the
Oh,
starters are Will Smith, Martin Lawrence, Armando,
Cap's
Rita,
daughter.
who is Cap. No, I'm not saying Cap's daughter.
Oh,
I'm
Rita.
saying Rita, who's their captain, and then McGrath, who is not McDreamy, McSteamy,
All
or
I
the
know is that's
dad from
Cal.
Euphoria. Yeah,
Yeah, Dad
Cal
from
from
Euphoria.
Euphoria.
Cal from
So I'd
Euphoria.
say those are the 5 that are the
Oh,
starters.
well, let me get the 6-man out here.
It's
Yours only.
Reggie.
It's Reggie.
Yeah,
Reggie
Reggie's
is the six
easily the
man of this
sixth
movie.
man.
Who else
Easily.
comes into a movie, drops a 15 kill piece, and then is able to barbecue you chicken after, and then dip?
No, and then the fact that he was in the second movie is taking the daughter to prom. Was in the third one. He grown as a character. Reggie easily was the highlight of this movie. No, I will say DJ Khaled, Joyner Lucas.
But he died. Imagine this: DJ Khaled came in for all of 5 minutes and then got ran over by a truck.
That was hilarious. And got put on fire. The nigga
And
got
got
ran
burned.
over and burnt up to a crisp. Joyner Lucas, some of those cameos took me out. I'm gonna be
Bro,
honest. Some of those cameos are like, what the
Tiffany
fuck?
Haddish running this like strip club
Eat
under
my
real.
pussy?
Like,
Like
bro.
what?
Also, another plot hole. Just let Armando do that. Like, come on, bro. You would be fine.
Also, shout out Michael Bay. He had a cameo.
Michael Bay's was weak.
Lionel Messi had a cameo.
Like, bro, that makes no sense in some of these cameos. Literally, they blew most of this budget on cameos.
I will also say underrated was Vanessa Hudgens and Alexander Ludwig.
Yeah,
Those
playing
two
the
characters.
couple.
Yeah, I know we're not giving them 6-man and haven't talked about them, but being the partners for Martin and Will, they're young partners.
Confidants.
Yeah, they're great. They did a great job in the role.
Job. Yeah,
facts. I like Martin and Will's new team with Rita as their captain and those two as their underlings. They did a good job. So that's your 6-man. All right, I think that's pretty much all of the review. Great movie. Check it out. Definitely worth it.
It's worth the $12 ticket.
Let's get to the Will Smith draft. Like we said, Will Smith's one of the greatest blockbuster actors of all time. Easily. He's not an Oscar actor. He can do some Oscar movies. He's had 3 major nominations for Best Actor and then 1 for Best Picture with Pursuit of Happiness, Ali, and King Richard. But this guy is known as arguably the last great movie star. You could argue in the vein of the Cary Grants, the Tom Cruises, the blockbuster
action
actor.
Star.
Yeah, the last great action, but actual true movie star. Like in the vein of the Schwarzeneggers, in the vein of like I said, Cary Grants. Like Leo's a different type. Leo's the auteur. He falls under the vein of like I'm looking at him, the other Alfred Hitchcock guy from Rope. Let me see. Hold on. I'm gonna get his name. He was in Jimmy Stewart. Leo and Denzel fall under the Jimmy Stewart, Daniel Day-Lewis, Robert De Niro, Al Pacino. Those guys are different from Cary Grant, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
So you say guys, those guys are actors, whereas these guys are stars?
Yeah, they're movie stars. Like Leo can definitely bring people out to see the movie because of how good he's acting. Will Smith is bringing him out because people want to see Will Smith. You get what I'm saying? People want to see a Leo movie to see how good the movie is.
How Leo
people
becomes the character where people see Will Smith to see Will Smith.
We just want to see the Will Smith movie. Exactly. Okay. Like, that's how I see Will Smith. Literally, I think he's the last great true movie star over people like The Rock. Because I think Will Smith is more of a movie star than The Rock. If I'm
saying last is crazy because there's always going to be another generation of guys like that. Because again, we just talked about Michael B. Jordan and Glenn Powell. Those guys are action movie guys.
We'll see if they can bring a block. But the thing is, can they?
Michael B. Jordan has had 3 Creed movies. Like, come on now.
We will see.
Don't act like Creed was his Rocky. Don't do that.
Look, I want to see going forward. can they fill a theater? Because Will
Well, do you
just
realize
became
the top three boxing movies of all time have been the Creed movies?
But that's a Rocky franchise. I want to see him do it with his own franchise, where Will Smith, in his fourth installment, after a controversy, just beat Oppenheimer for the top rated R first week off of Bad Boys. Like, I don't know if Glenn Powell and Michael B. Jordan can do that. We need to see. That's why I say right now Will Smith is the last great traditional movie star.
Sure. Okay.
So that's what. So, but let's get into the draft. Like I said, you got to draft at least one Will comedy, one Will Oscar nominated film. We're doing 8 rounds. I'm flipping a coin right now. What you want, heads or tails?
I'll take tails.
All right. It is tails.
All right.
You can pick first. What you going with?
Let's see.
You pick first. I get the second on the back-to-back, which is fire. So are you going with your Oscar? Are you going with your comedy?
I'll fill those out later. Give me Bad Boys 2.
Ooh, okay. Taking Bad Boys 2. Well, yeah. I'm gonna cheat, of course.
My God.
For my comedy, which I'm shocked you didn't do, I'm taking The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Okay.
I'm taking the TV show The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as my comedy.
Okay.
Oh no, I go again. Yeah, I go again, brother.
Back to back. I get my back to back. So
yeah, you get back to back next. All right. Yeah. So I took that. I took The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air as my comedy, and in my Oscar, I'm gonna take Pursuit of Happiness.
Okay, damn.
I had to get that out of the way.
See, okay.
That's why I asked. I asked you if you want to take the hard ones first.
That's all right. That's all right.
Because Will got so many action films, I can take whatever one I want at that point.
Yeah, no, you see.
All right, so now do your back to back.
I'm gonna have to fill the Oscar. I'm gonna have to take King Richard.
All right, nice, good choice.
I'm gonna have to take King Richard to
way better than Ali. Both of those movies better than Ali for sure.
And then I'm gonna go. Let's see.
Ooh, if you don't take what I'm thinking of right now, I'm taking it for sure.
I'm taking Men in Black.
All right, nice. Good take.
I'm taking Men in Black.
Good take. I like that. Good choice. Men in Black, a classic Will Smith movie. One of his best, one of his great franchise. The fact that you have the fact that you have Men in Black and Bad Boys 2 is solid. Yeah. Men in Black 1, great movie. Some people may say Men in Black 2 a little better, but I don't know. I like the first one, me personally. So, all right, I'm going with Hitch as my next one. I wanted you to take your comedy, but I digress. You didn't want to take it, so I'm getting Hitch. You can find another comedy. I don't care what you take.
I'm gonna burn this comedy.
Hitch is one of Will Smith's funniest movies. It's a good rom-com. It's him showing with Kevin James that he can do, that he's a leading man, essentially. And then now I'm going to get into my Will Smith action bag. I'm taking Independence Day. Okay. His first major blockbuster, the movie that put Will Smith on the map right after The Fresh Prince.
Okay, that's damn. Okay. So
that's my 4. All right.
May have to get this comedy out of the way.
You need to, because if not, I'm going to take another one.
Let's see. Well, the thing is this, do we consider this movie a comedy?
Say it.
I think it's hilarious.
What you think?
Suicide Squad.
No, that's not no damn
It's hilarious. It's hilarious.
Hell no. Nigga,
fine. What? Okay, well, I'm not taking it. Then give me Shark Tale as a comedy.
Nice, good choice. It would have been on my list at some point.
Yeah, I'm taking Shark Tale as a comedy.
One of his best one of the best animated films. DreamWorks doesn't get a lot of credit. It was a great story.
Then I'm gonna take
Martin Scorsese was in the fucking movie.
Then I'm gonna take Focus.
Oh, you bastard! What a good choice! I thought I could sneak it in later round.
Nah. I'm not letting that walk.
That's one that I wanted. So now I have to take one that I know you probably overlooked. I'm taking Enemy of the State. That's Will Smith, him and Gene Hackman. Yeah, that's him and Gene Hackman. This is one of Will's serious action movies where he's an undercover lawyer. Oh, love it. Enemy of the State is great. So that's my number 5. My number 6. Let's see. So, all right. I can't wait to take that one because I don't think you're gonna do it. All right, I'm gonna take Hancock.
Okay.
Will Smith and Charlize Theron doing superheroes, very ahead of its time. So yeah. I'm going Hancock.
Okay. I'm gonna.
So these are your last 2 picks, huh?
Yeah, these are my last 2 picks.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to go. Okay, give me I Am Legend.
I was about to say, if I Am Legend doesn't get taken, people are gonna be upset.
Yeah, I'm taking I Am Legend. I'm gonna take I Am Legend, and then my last pick. This is tough. This is tough.
There's some good ones still.
There are some good ones. There are some good ones.
What you gonna go with?
I'm gonna have to take. Okay, you see now, old Reggie would go 6 degrees of separation, but I'm not. Reginald, I'm gonna have to go Bad Boys Ride or Die, the final movie.
Wow, this bastard! I thought I could
Yeah.
sneak it in there and take it.
No.
He
I'm
took
taking
the two. All right, well, I'm not touching the Bad Boys franchise then. He took the best two. All right, well then, for my second to last pick, I was gonna go Focus, but he took it already. So I guess we'll go Men in Black 2, because let me make sure Men in Black 2 is what I think it is. Because Men in Black 2 should be good. Yeah, Men in Black 2 solid. Is it? No, actually, no, I'm not taking Men in Black 2. I'm sorry. You took the good one. That was the good one. Okay, so I'm gonna take I, Robot, Will Smith versus the AIs, which was great. I thought you were gonna take that. And then my final pick, this is from me and Schubert. This is our classic. Our friendship was built on this movie. We love this movie together. The Wild Wild West. So I was gonna finish with the Wild Wild West,
1,
of course.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I only have 7 movies.
Oh, well, then this is your last pick.
Okay, yeah, because I started off with 1.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Shit, you took most of the good ones. He wasn't that. I'm gonna take Concussion. Give me Concussion.
You just ran out of movies.
I definitely ran out of movies.
All right, so I'm gonna give my list, then you give your list. I have Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pursuit of Happiness, Hitch, Hancock, I, Robot, Wild Wild West, and Independence Day. What do you have?
I have King Richard, Shark Tale, Last Bad Boys, Bad Boys 2, Focus, I Am Legend, Men in Black 1, and Concussion.
Nice. And then Schubert's favorite Will Smith movies are I, Robot, Wild Wild West, Independence Day, I Am Legend, and Men in Black 1. So we took it. I drafted 3 of his, you drafted 2. So that's our Will Smith draft. I would say the best movie out of all of those, Pursuit of Happiness? Question mark?
Yeah, Pursuit of Happiness.
What would you say his best action movie is? I, Robot's up there. I, Robot's really good. I also had Enemy of the State. Enemy of the State is a damn good action movie.
I never seen Enemy of the State.
Oh, you need to watch it. That one's really, really good. So, but
at least none of us touched Emancipation.
Oh God, this is ass. All of his trying to be. That's why I'm shocked you took Concussion. Concussion's all right. It's not bad.
It's not bad, but like
all of his attempts at that and recreating Pursuit of Happiness suck. 6 degrees, the one you said, trash.
I actually like 6 degrees of separation. I like 6 degrees of separation.
But that's pretty much all we got for this week. Next week, we may be doing a draft, or we may do a director. Yeah, we might do a director draft. That's what we'll do next week. So we'll pick a director. We'll do a director draft on top of our discussions. But Reg, tell the people where they can follow you at on social media.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram at Reggie.Rito, and then the new Twitter is in the works getting cooked because we just got off our ban. So.
Oh my gosh. Well, y'all make sure y'all follow Reggie. You follow me at LinBWT, follow Bros Think at Bros Think. Be sure to look at all of our amazing content. But next week, we'll be back with The Boys review, episodes 1 through 3. We'll review episode 4 of The Acolyte. And I think that's pretty much all the shows.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
And House of the Dragon, episode 1. Season 2.
I never watched Game of Thrones, so.
Oh, you never? Oh, well, I'll discuss House of the Dragon season 2,
have to
episode 1.
It, right? Yeah.
So, and just to catch us up for when Schubert gets back, but then we'll do a director draft, probably a Denis Villeneuve, maybe a Tarantino. We'll see. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if we've done a Villeneuve draft. We did a Scorsese draft.
We did the Villeneuve draft after we reviewed his most recent movie.
I thought we did a Scorsese draft.
We have done a Scorsese draft.
I don't know if we did a Villeneuve draft. I don't know.
We've definitely done a Villeneuve draft.
Right,
what was his most recent movie?
Well, Dune 2.
Yeah, then we definitely did a Villeneuve draft.
Right. Well, then we might
because that's where we talked about putting Timothée Chalamet. That's where we also ranked. Yeah,
we might do a Tarantino draft, and we'll figure it out. But all right, until next week, y'all have a good one, and peace.